Chapter 1. A Little Girl. A little girl was decorating a box with a gold wrapping paper to put it under the Christmas tree. Money was tight, so the girl's father punished her for wasting almost all roll of that expensive paper. However, the next morning the girl brought the gift to her father. "This is for you, Daddy," she said. He opened a box and found it empty, so he became angry again. "Don't you know that when you give someone a gift, it is supposed that there would be something inside it?" he said severely. The little girl looked at her father with tears in her eyes. "Daddy, this box is not empty. I filled it with my kisses, all for you." The father was stunned. He felt so embarrassed that could just put his arms around his little daughter and beg for her forgiveness. For many years of his life the man kept that golden box near his bed. Wherever he felt sad and downhearted, he opened the box and thought of love that the little child had put into it. Each of us have been given a present of unconditional love from our children, family, friends and God. It is the most precious possession that anyone could hold. Chapter 2. George was a driver. George was a driver and he spent so much time at his work that he could hardly have a meal together with his wife and 3 children. In the evenings he attended classes, seeking to get knowledge that one day would help him to find a better paying job. George's family often complained that he is not spending enough time with them, but his only answer was, "I am doing all this for you. I work hard to provide my family with the best that I can." Soon after George had passed his exams, he received a good job offer with a salary which was significantly higher than he had before. So now George could provide his family with more expensive clothes, some luxury items, or vacations in foreign countries. It was like a dream come true, but family still did not get enough attention from George, as he continued to work very hard and often he did not get to see his family for most of the week. Time passed and George's hard work paid off. He was promoted. He decided to relieve his wife from domestic works, so he hired a maid. He also decided that their flat is not big enough for their family and they need a more spacious one. Thus he needed to work even harder, and moreover, he continued his studies, so that he would be promoted again. George worked so hard that sometimes he even had to spend his Sundays with his clients instead of his wife and children. And again, whenever family asked for his time and complained that they do not spend enough time together, he answered that he was doing all this only for them. A bit later George was promoted, so he could buy a spacious house with a beautiful view. On the first Sunday evening at their new home, George told his wife and kids that now he decided not to take any studies and work not so hard, so that he could spend more time with his beloved family. The very next morning George did not wake up. Chapter 3. Heart-touching story. When James was a college student, he had admired a lovely sports car in one dealer's showroom for a long time. He knew that his parents could afford it and told them that this car is all that he wanted as a gift in a day of his graduation. graduation day came and father had called James into his private office. He told him, "I am very proud to have such a good son like you." He told him how much he loved him and handed him a lovely wrapped gift. James felt disappointment, but he was curious to know what it was, so he opened the box and saw a leather-bound Bible. "You are so wealthy and all you can give me is a Bible." James shouted at his father with anger and left the house. Time passed and James became a successful businessman. He was happily married and had 2 children. Their family lived in a beautiful house. However, his soul still hurt due to broken relationships with his father. James did not see him since his graduation day. One day he received a note, which told that his father passed away. According to the testament, he had inherited all of the possessions of his father. When James arrived at his father's house and began to look for some important paper, and accidentally he found the Bible, still gift-wrapped, and sadness had filled his heart. With tears in his eyes, he opened the Bible and read a verse that was underlined by his father, "And if ye, being evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more shall your heavenly Father give to those who ask him?" Suddenly a car key had dropped from the back of the Bible. He knew that it was keys to the same car that he desired at that time. James also found a tag with the date of his graduation on it and the words "Paid in full."